5 weeks ago, we moved into the Jellystone campground thinking we would be here for 1 week while getting our Hummer running. But this build has been anything but predictable. It's our goal to have our complete rig for a while to test out before extended overland travel. At this point, we have lost over 1 year on the transmission's aster. This has put a damper on our plans and a strain on our family and finances. When a build takes this long, with so many unforeseen problems, it has us questioning the fate of our H3. Should we sell it and move on to a newer vehicle that has been built with some of the features that we're trying to get out of our Hummer? Things like a 6 or 8-speed transmission, an engine with an abundance of horsepower and torque, and a functional, long-term travel 4x4. They say when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Or in our case, smoke a brisket.
Good morning. It's a really pretty day today, so I'm gonna get started by making some sun tea.
Meanwhile, we have the grill going on. We're gonna spend 8 or so hours today making brisket. We got inspired by Scooter's Smokehouse Barbecue up in Georgetown, and I'm gonna make lattes this morning. Okay, so we're testing out something today. We have a lot of sunshine. Our 2 Life Blue batteries are at 99% there. I think you can see it in the shadow of the camera. We're going to plug in the 100 watt Bouge RV solar panel up here. We've just thrown it on top of the awning. I'm not really worried about angle of the sun today. And we're just gonna test out and see how do we hold a charge today, run in the fridge. We're not really running any lights because it's daytime. At the bad angle to the sun. There we go, 49, 50 watts. And as the sun becomes more overhead, we're gonna see that jump up. But can this 100 watt panel keep up with the draw of the fridge and the other things we're gonna be using? This morning, our favorite coffee, Ozo coffee. Espresso, this is the Isabel. So this grinder we have, this thing is seriously awesome. It's in our Amazon cart if you're interested in getting a really good grinder. All right, first double shot is ready.
All right, so I'm gonna start getting the brisket ready to go on the grill. I'm a little concerned about how this is gonna turn out. We're gonna put some bone broth inside of the brisket. We saw some people do this before and I thought, oh man, that's really cheating. But we need all the help we can get right now because we don't have a real smoker. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this syringe to put some broth in, and I'm just gonna stick it in. You can definitely see it expanding. Okay, so I'm just patting this dry, getting the surface as dry as possible. And then I'm gonna coat it with mustard. It really helps hold the moisture in. So I'm just gonna rub this in. And it doesn't taste mustardy.
How's the espresso beans coming, Bailey?
Pretty good.
Does it smell good?
Yes.
All right, so up now is some Celtic salt. And then we're gonna put in some black pepper. And then it's gonna be time to put it on the grill, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
we don't do much of a rub. I like to really taste the meat. So we just do salt and pepper. Very heavy salt and pepper. So we're gonna use this probe and stick it probably in the deepest part of this meat. So we're at 45 degrees right now. We want to get up to around 190, 195.
This is the Maverick Pro grill monitor. It's, so far we've used it and really like it, but one thing it doesn't have is any way to monitor the grill temperature. So it's a little bit tricky to try to do brisket when you have no idea what your temp is inside. We're doing brisket kind of like this. We're in the dark, we're in the blind, but we're gonna monitor it. I think it's gonna be okay. Natalie was asking if it was too hot, and my answer to that is, but it smells good. Our center temp on the meat now is 55.8 degrees, so it's bumped up from 40 all the way. It's been up almost 16 degrees now. Meanwhile, back with the batteries, it's been about an hour and we are using that 100-watt solar panel up there on top of the awning. So batteries are still reading at 100% charge, which is really awesome. And then also our 100-watt panel, which is right up there behind me on top of the awning. We're just trickling in at, what are we doing, 13 watts right now. Everything's working perfectly. We're keeping the trailer completely topped off without costing us even 1 penny. We got the Bellman on top of the Webasto. We're heating it up now. We're gonna take it up on this gauge to 1.5 bars. Then I'm gonna do 3 double espresso shots. So super cool thing happening with the solar, and we're kind of learning how this thing's really working because we haven't run on solar a whole lot with this trailer. So we're reading 100% charge now. We went down to 99.8. When it went to 99.8 or 99.7, the smart charger on the solar kicked it back up to 50 or 60 watts that it was taking in and quickly brought us back up to 100% now again. And now we're back down to a trickle of 12 watts that it's taking in for the battery. So it's working great. All right, got the first double shot espresso poured. Smells good. So I'm frothing the milk right now. What we're gonna do is ice latte for Natalie, ice latte for Bailey, and a warm latte for me. So I'm frothing this milk up now. This is something, it's really an art. Oops, gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. All right, take a look. Drop an espresso double shot right in there. And now we'll take all of this and put it right here. This is absolutely just plain perfect. So in the process of tending to the brisket, it really got late for my morning latte.
It's not morning anymore.
It's not morning anymore. So I'm drinking a hot latte, and it's pretty warm out here today, but how's your ice latte?
It's really good. It's very good. Better than most coffee shops are gonna be. It's very smooth.
How does it compare to your Georgetown ice latte?
It's better. And that was very good.
All right, we're at 115 degrees internal temp. I think we're gonna flip this guy. Oh, don't break anything.
To go with the brisket, I'm gonna try to make buns on the stove. First, we're gonna start with the dough, and I'm gonna add a cup of water, tablespoon of sugar. This is coconut sugar, and 1 packet of yeast. And I'm gonna whisk this together and let it sit for just a few minutes in order to get the yeast activated. So the yeast, water, sugar has been sitting for a little while now, and now I'm gonna add 2 cups of flour. All right, so I just put in 2 cups of all-purpose organic flour, and now I'm gonna add to all this 1 teaspoon of salt. All right, so I'm gonna knead this dough till it comes together in a nice ball. All right, so I've kneaded this dough until it's smooth. So I'm just gonna drizzle this with some oil just to keep it nice and moist while it rises.
I'm gonna say right now, I'm really impressed with what we're able to do with this Iceco grill. It's supposed to be a smoker, oven, pizza grill slash grill, all in one package, which really is pushing the limits of this really lightweight stainless grill, but it's doing it. Our internal temperature is 171, so we're getting like within 25 degrees or so of done. So I'm gonna start spraying it now with apple cider vinegar.
I've got some Carolina style barbecue sauce.
Yeah, the more the better, right?
Yeah.
All right, we are locked in at 181 degrees, which is perfect because I'm trying to slow down the core temp a little bit on it. Now we're gonna flip it over on the other side and put barbecue sauce on this side. Take a look at this. This is rising very nicely. So it looks like we're gonna have buns. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I have changed clothes. We're gonna exercise.
So the dough's been rising. It's risen up really nicely, and I'm going to knead it. And then I'm gonna divide it into 6 or 8 buns. But I'm only gonna be able to probably cook 4 at a time because of the size of my pan. So let's see how it goes.
So one thing that's been kind of a consistent theme in our family is Bailey and I come up with these ideas of things for Natalie to cook. And it's usually out when we don't have all the traditional gear that you'd want. So I gotta brag on Natalie a bit because she has managed to create some really amazing things, amazing meals with all the wrong cooking gear. And it's just awesome. Like, this is gonna be a prime example.
So I'm gonna use my knife and I'm gonna cut this in half. I think I'm gonna cut it into three buns. And then we're just gonna roll them like that until they look like a bun. They're gonna sit here and rise again. So I decided to just do 3 because once they rise together, it's gonna be pretty crammed in here. So I'm gonna do 3 first and then I'll do 3 again once these are done. But they need to rise for about 20 minutes and then I'll put them on the heat. All right, so we are getting ready to pull the brisket off. I think it looks really good. We're gonna take it and set it on the scuttle with the lid on to rest. These have risen up really nicely. So I'm gonna keep the lid on them. I'm gonna put them over a low heat. So our bread is cooking over here, the brisket is done, and to go with all that, we're gonna make a coleslaw. But not a creamy coleslaw, I'm gonna make a vinegar coleslaw. All right, and to that, this is just kind of something I've made up. I'm gonna add some dill to it. I'm gonna chop up cilantro and also some green onion to go into it. So I'm gonna do all the green onion, the white, and the green parts. Now for the cilantro. Okay, I'm gonna put all this together. Unfortunately, my bowl's a little small. I'm gonna put a couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and a couple tablespoons of avocado oil. I'm gonna put some honey to take away some of that bite.
On the biscuits, the top, the lid of this thing doesn't really fit. Are they burnt?
No.
Doesn't fit for these because it hangs down. How hot is that? Well, you can see. It hangs down and they stuck.
It's okay.
So
We're gonna flip them anyway. We're gonna see what happens.
go for it. Okay, they're really not bad.
That'll be mine.
Oh, that's fine. That could be mine.
So we're also gonna salt and pepper this. So now I'm giving all that a stir together and I'll taste test it in a minute. Make sure all the seasoning is good and everything is well incorporated and salted up. But you can see it'll start to it already is starting to break down from the vinegar and it'll make a really good dressing.
The buns actually turned out really awesome. Take a look. They look great.
Smell really good.
Oh, they smell awesome. 9 a.m. to 5:30. Moment of truth. Let's see.
It better be amazing.
All right, it looks really good. But you know, the moment of truth is.
When you cut it. Oh, there's juice there. That's good.
Is it going to be dry or is it going to be amazing? There, let me try this. Oh, it's. Okay. It is not dry. Have mercy. Try a piece. Take a look. You can see the pink around the edges. How cool is that?
Alright, I couldn't tell where the grain was. And so I was cutting it wrong. Now that I've cut it correctly,
There we go.
it's really tender.
Have a piece, please.
Yeah, so much better.
This is our version. And how does he think it's coming? Chopped brisket sandwich like we had up at Scooters?
I'm sure Scooters is better than ours.
No. No, we learned all their secrets when we were there. So now we can do exactly what they can do.
Yeah.
Try it, baby, and let's see what you get.
How are the buns? Hopefully they're okay.
The buns are awesome.
They're not my most beautiful creation, that's for sure.
They smell great. So if they smell great, you know they taste great.
Really good.
They taste okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Dinner, awesome. Worth the however many hours it's been. But that's the fun, right? The fun is just hanging out together as a family. Natalie and I cooking together, which we love doing. You know, Bailey was out with her friends a lot today, but we're glad that she's got a ton of friends here, because when we sold our house, she kind of lost all her friends that we had in the neighborhood, but now she's made a whole bunch of new friends, and it's been awesome, right, baby?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
right.
it has.
Yes, it has. All right, we're gonna finish dinner. Okay, today is moving out of the trailer day. You can see we've got the fridge out of the tunnel box off of the slide, and we got trailer belongings all over the place. Natalie's over there, been cleaning out the fridge. How's it going, baby?
Good, it's clean now.
We're basically unpacking the entire trailer. We were gonna go into a cabin, but the cabins are 200 bucks a night, plus what we're already paying for this site, because we don't want to give up this site. And we're all gonna crash into the tent back there. And we're gonna do that until the trailer's done. All right, so we made it through last night, staying in our same campsite. Today, Natalie's trying to get us into a cabin. We all three crammed into that Mountain Smith ground tent that we have. And now I'm taking the trailer down to Syker Fabrication, and we're gonna try to get the rest of the work done on it, and hopefully be in a cabin tonight, because it was windy last night. We were crammed in there, and the trailer's empty, so all the stuff we have in the trailer is